Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the void. I'm player 1.
I am player 2, and I've come for your kidney.
And welcome back to
Danganronpa.
Last time, we're in the pit. We're in the garbage. Kyoko's here. She had the cup noodle on her head.
I also had to correct a fucking timeline problem.
Right. What, you think it's bad that Hina would have 3 baby daddies?
The fact that she was put into that position in the first place is awful.
If she agreed to it.
If she does that out of this situation, all for her. She can do whatever she wants.
They didn't need to have kids. They could all just died. They could all got old. They were the ones who decided to have kids. And no one included Toko, which is kind of sad. So she died.
To be fair, you'd have to be mentally challenged to try and bang another mentally challenged person. I know what I said.
He.
However,
Okay. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know it wasn't you either.
I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
I can say for sure that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial was for Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole the key, then disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That's the point of the class trial.
It was?
That's why I knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In all restrictions, you are free to explore.
In other words,
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
That's one thing. That's one other thing I'd like to point out in the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What's that?
There's a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. Could have been you, Makoto.
Oh yeah, you remember?
Oh, right.
I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do you mean when Nacho Libre came and visited me in my sleep?
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death.
Hades?
No, he's the god of the underworld.
Right, the god of death is...
Thanatos.
Yes. I was gonna say Nyx, but that's wrong.
No.
Well, in some cases.
I can hear the death god as he moves. This ability naturally draws me into cases like this.
You got fucking foresight?
No. She's just the Grim Reaper, but a detective. She's Batman!
She's Absol.
No, that's natural disasters. Actually, she would be an Absol, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
What would Makoto be?
Damn bread dog. What the hell is that one called?
Fido?
Yeah.
You're making him a Fido?
Yeah. That's what it would be.
Alright, but that would have to make Hero Spoink.
Hero would be fucking spunk. Sakura would be Groudon.
No, she'd be, what's the panda one?
Pangoro?
Yeah, the dark fighting type panda.
No, that would be Mondo, because that's a delinquent one.
true. Oh, wait, no. Sakura would be Machamp.
Yeah.
Ooh, would that make Toko Mimikyu?
No, Toko would be Garbodor.
No.
She'd be Trubbish. She'd be Trubbish.
Damn.
But you still gotta love her.
Trubbish and Garbodor are just better muck and grammar.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Kyoko, we know. Oh? Wait a minute. When the person was in our room, did they have nails?
I don't know.
Because it just showed it.
Correct.
Whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind.
I'm telling you, it's not Mukuro, it's Junko's body.
Maybe Mukuro is Junko.
We saw Junko get shish kebabbed.
Maybe Mukuro is Junko. Maybe that's a fucking weak old body.
No, I've suggested they reused reused Junko's body.
Yeah, but did you also put in the separate theory that Mukuro is Junko? You combine the two, they work.
Tell me she has a twin?
Who, Junko has a twin or Mukuro has a twin?
That those two are twins.
Was Junko ever a real person?
I'm going to hit you. Just continue.
Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
That is a contradiction. It's not just Mukuro. The trash crowd could kill me, but they seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
Means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Kodo.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair. There's two. What in the hell? The other ultimate despair?
I gotta say this. This music slaps.
I love this.
No doubt about it. There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and now that she's dead... But I don't think the ultimate despair was just one person.
It's not?
Think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicit whoever caused the event.
You're talking about...
What happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
a tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they are the ultimate despair?
A despicable group. Whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then they're...
Make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy.
Chapter 5. Done.
Pain of a oh.
Yeah, I don't know why it was called that. We're still at 6. We passed through a whole chapter with technically no one died.
Nice.
Oh, the Dream Island rocket.
Dream Island.
5 alive.
Is that where we go to in the spin-off summer camp game?
Maybe. The ultimate despair.
I just thought of Sakura in a swimsuit and it scares me.
It scares you.
It scares me.
You know what it does to me. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
Anyway,
Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after.
yeah, you're right. Fucking use your damn pick.
Rattle. Locked. Do we have a way to open the door?
Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Of course.
Use it.
that's right.
Use it. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Actually, with all this metal, all this scrap metal lying around, we could have probably made it like a pseudo lockpick.
But we're not the ultimate inventor. That's the
Nope.
second game.
You don't need the ultimate inventor. You just need to have a little bit of craftsmanship and hand strength.
Wait, Ultimate Inventor is the third game, not the second game.
There's a third game.
There's 4 games. One's a spin-off. And a canon anime that we have to watch.
Anime.
Canon. Which I
Anime.
don't know how we're gonna do. We'll figure that out.
Indeed.
At that point, we'll be PNG tubers and just have our figures in, like, I don't know, the bottom right-hand corner, and whenever we speak, our icon lights up and it moves.
Folks, what do you think about that? Because to be honest, to me, I don't know. Finally, we were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Oh, you heard that? Danganronpa.
How are the others gonna react to us being alive?
Also, it went straight into deadly life. There was no daily life. No free time. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Ayo!
Ah?
The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you.
Yeah, I'll be careful. But now
This
that you
is
said
when I
that-
would time to, this would be the time, this would be about when I'd take the time to, fashion myself a safety harness.
Out of what?
There's gotta be a rope down there somewhere.
Tony Stark built a suit in a cave with a box of scrap.
I can make a safety harness out of 50 feet of rope and was most likely a clip down there somewhere.
Now you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it.
I've climbed one of these ladders before, and it was only to the roof of a Burger King. A single-story Burger King. That made me scared.
Oh. To the Burger King roof?
Yes, I had to help the maintenance man fix a vent.
So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work?
How long?
So,
Ever since I can remember. I've come from a long line of detective. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Potatoes.
Then, is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
Because we take pride in it.
pride?
Indeed.
Detective is neither light or shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things. And to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a continuous effort to conceal our existence.
Conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family's creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride.
Pride. So that explains...
Nothing.
Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose, to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up on some of that pride.
Huh?
In order to enter Hope Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing there was something a true detective would never do.
But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
what?
Reconnect? I have absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There's something I want to say to him, though.
What?
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face.
What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him.
Severed?
Last time I saw him, I was still very young. Don't remember myself. Apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented and had a promising future, but had no interest in detective work. Took himself off from the family. Not long after, my mother died, and he simply ran off. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. As young as I was, he left me behind.
I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
Then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work that I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have the chance to become a detective.
I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. If that's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing I can never forgive.
Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, I saw something different. When I saw the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadows have been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, or to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our connection is through blood, nothing more. We are connected by heart and soul. No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? No.
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak Academy is waiting for us.
We're back.
That's right.
With a hatch on the ground near the trash room. I'm fairly certain this is where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble.
Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. Hatch opened with ease, and so... we're so back.
Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you.
No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor.
So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you, too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried?
Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping.
Wait, that's...
however,
Try to hide, it's only a matter of time until we're found out. It's not like we can run away.
As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now?
Don't worry. What do you think is going to happen, isn't? Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared.
The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation in Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down.
There was?
We can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be for us if we go... It'll be better for us if we go directly to him. If we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations.
I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't have a choice, do we?
indeed.
Monokuma should be in the
Shall we
gym.
go?
Let's get going.
Oh boy. This can only go good. Da 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 da. Wait, you notice something? Mukuro doesn't have a room.
Wait, was the thing always like that?
What do you mean?
The Force Peak Academy sign, was it always hanging down like that?
Oh, Despair Hotel. Yeah, I guess.
I don't think it was.
I don't even remember that being a thing, to be honest.
Gonna get any more Monokuma gifts?
We'll do that later.
Later.
I don't even think we got free time, so it's not worth it.
No.
Hey, bitch. Come here a second.
Well now.
Hey, 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 hey!
It's Monokuma.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't
But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here? I live, bitches!
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
You were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, then they alone will be executed. Unfortunate, but it is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again! This time I won't leave anything to chance!
Kyoko!
Do whatever you feel you have to.
What?
However,
Before you do, let me just say one thing. You executed Makoto, that means... You execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Kyoko.
Eh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you slept the Slayer's class trial, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened, and then executed, right? What are you talking about?
however,
If the Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in this position, one person could protect another like that. In response to that unexpected development,
indeed,
you acted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
however,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. Actually, that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your previous execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed it. Now, here's the absolute truth. Goto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
listen to me.
So executing Makoto, for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto. And you can prove this, right? No, I can't.
Don't just say it like that.
What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without shred of evidence.
Doesn't matter.
Not for now, but with all the time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
Makoto is really the killer. He never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so much to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts. Is that supposed to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
Not like I'm trying to convince you.
Hey,
You're the one who executed Makoto now. If you try to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
That's us.
Ooh.
That's me. Ooh. Huh?
indeed.
They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Of course, you can say that we're making it all up. You're all going to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it wrong. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Oh. You want to earn our despair fair and square? I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours? To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, follow school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
Time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Yeah! That would make for a proper climax. Fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Oh shit, the bear puns. Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. It's not time for bad jokes.
God damn it, no! We haven't... No, you're not Teddy!
Oh, what's wrong? Is it unbearable?
No!
Now that you suggested what you suggested might be plausible, it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
Guys!
If we do things our way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would cause you unbearable despair, right? I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope run out, or will my despair claim victory?
Contain myself!
Let's have one final grisly showdown!
He agreed. But we still have a shot at this.
But this is the long way to climax, right? Just guessing the killer's barely a fitting end. So for the final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right. Every last mystery that's spawning around the school. If you can do that,
Barely contain-
there'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you. That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. You can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school. Then you win. But if you can't do all that, you'll face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? Despair!
Despair!
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
listen to me.
And when we uncover every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal its own despair?
I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when the class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that, for sure. Why?
Hey,
I just want to confirm. That is what you said, right? It's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious, I said it before, but if it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations.
Everything is based.
And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? And it's part of the regulations? Someone was a student who killed her. Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, okay, enough puns anyway. Here's a hint. Sure, I told you this already, but...
What?
The killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only one to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
So you have to be one. So we got them and Mukuro. It's Aoi.
What?
You know, originally, they did plan for Chihiro to be the mastermind. Imagine. That would be crazy. What?
Listen,
Are you telling the truth?
Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
I'm done talking. I've got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya?
Why so mad?
He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone, get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. You start getting it already. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair. Is it gonna be a combination of all the ones we've seen so far?
Yeah, no. You're onto something there.
hey,
Come on, Makoto. Let's go.
Okay. Jesus, look at him. Damn machine gun.
Where?
Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym.
Can we go say hi to our friends before we leave?
I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. Real battle is just ahead of us.
Yeah, true.
Still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal.
But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept.
Huh?
because
So because of that one moment, the mastermind let down their guard.
So when was it?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? When they hijacked the airwave to broadcast our school to the outside world, right?
Yeah, he definitely said that.
What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right?
Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed,
You don't exactly read about something like that all happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely hard to pull off.
however,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
Think of it another way. There must have been a reason they had to do something that difficult.
Reason?
so
That should the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other.
He wanted to show the world?
it would seem
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. All the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world.
But why?
correct.
Prove a point, most likely.
Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept.
You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
For those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that. Try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair.
What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
True.
Right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. Kind of something that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game across the world. The mastermind had to be more particular than reasonable about their own regulations.
Makes sense.
If the mastermind simply ignored the rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at least.
At least that's how those who were watching this would have seen it.
And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all the proper rules to get me killed. Being the trial didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be a killer.
But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. Due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. Attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer.
And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair was better than hope, they had to defeat us in perfect
In
form.
other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations.
But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got this chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up.
Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
It looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet.
You could say she was a better gambler than Celeste. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief.
To be honest, I can't believe that nervous, I haven't been that nervous in a long time.
I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him.
Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, don't you agree? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy.
Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time. Or everything we've gone through will be here will be for nothing.
You're right. We can't defeat the mastermind. It'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on.
True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind.
We're together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible?
Huh?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to find
Shall
the
we
others. They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? Let's find our friends and we can end this mess.
We can finally kick the mastermind's ass.
I'm going to kick him in the nuts.
If he has nuts,
True, it might be a woman.
it might be a bear. Actually,
Even then, it's still a 50-50 chance if it has nuts.
oh yeah. Alright, but I think we'll do that next time.
Oh,
I've been Player One,
I haven't played too.
and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.